Hey guys, it's Travis at GasPumpHeaven.com. Well, today I decided I'm going to put up an air meter in my garage, and I want to do it a little bit differently than just putting one on and plugging it in. So what I decided to do, I've got a new air compressor that I put in my other garage, which is on the other side of this wall. And what I thought I would do is run the piping out of this wall, and then I would hang my air meter up and then have the piping come out underneath it and then hook into my hose. So I thought I'd turn on the camera and film it, show you guys how to disassemble one of these and how to mount this on your wall. So the first thing, I don't need the hose on mine. So the first thing you want to do is grab a 9/16 wrench and just hook onto the bottom here and loosen it up. And once it's loose, you can take this hose and then you just unscrew it. Okay, now that that hose is out, I'm going to take this bottom mounting bracket off so I can put it together, so I can put the base on the wall a lot easier. So the first thing I'm going to do is flip it over, and I need a flathead screwdriver, and I'm going to take these screws out. Okay, now that the screws are out, I'm going to take this back plate off. Now you're going to notice there's a couple of wires in here, and that's because this thing lights up. We're not going to mess with that right now. The next thing we're going to do is inside we have another bolt and a plate. So there's a underneath there's a flathead or a stove bolt in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to need, I think this is a half. Yep, we're going to need a 1/2-inch wrench, and we're going to take this bolt off. Okay, there's also a washer in here, and then this bolt will come right out, but your hose hook is going to come out as well, because that sits on here. It goes through this slot right here on the bottom like that, and then it hooks onto your bolt. So okay, now that we're all disassembled here, the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to figure out where we're going to mount our air meter here. So what I'm going to do, probably somewhere right in here, and then I'm going to try and measure out too. I know I've got a stud right here, so I'm going to try and see if I can get a couple of bolts in the stud. Okay, now that I've determined where this is going to go, I'm going to put a little mark up in the top here just to try and figure out about where I'm going to drill my hole to get my pipe through. So that's the next thing I'm going to do, is start drilling a hole so I can get my pipe through first, and then we'll mount it. Alright, now I got my pipe through, and what's going to happen is, the way this is going to sit, it's going to sit on top of it just like this, so my air is going to come right out of the bottom. And then I'm going to use this, I got a 3-foot lead that I'm going to hook into, I just got this reel, you know, that I wanted to put up there, so I'm going to try and hook it so it looks like it's coming out of here, and I may end up putting the hose back on, but we'll figure that out as we go. So I'm just going to finish putting some of the piping in so we can put this whole thing back together and show you what it looks like when it's all done. Okay, now that this is all together, let's go ahead and mount it. Now I've already pre-drilled my holes for my lag bolts, so we need to just go ahead and get them in place. Now that we have the box mounted, the next thing we want to do is I need to put this hose in here and hook it in. But because I didn't grab a swivel mounting, I'm going to put this together first before I mount it, because I'm going to have to twist this around a few times just so I can make it fit. Now we're ready to go ahead and mount our reel up here. Now I threw 2 lag bolts in. I threw them about 1 inch in just to give me a little bit of support, because I have these notches in the bottom as opposed to just holes. So I can get the top ones in and get them somewhat set and have a little bit of a rest, so I don't have to try and hold this thing 100% of the time. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do is I decided to put my hose back on. Originally I wasn't going to put it on, but I think, you know, having it on is going to make it look a lot better. And we don't have to worry about putting pipe dope on these, because these reproductions are non-functioning. Even though we've made it look like it's a functioning one, this part is not going to work. So we're just going to hook it right into where it threads, and we'll just get it in there snug. And then we will just roll our hose over it like that. And that's it. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope this was enjoyable, and I hope you learned something. And at least you got to see our high quality reproduction air meters. So if you want to check these out, we have them on our website at gaspumphheaven.com. We also have them in our 120-page catalog, and if you don't have a copy, you can give us a call at 402-592-1710. And you can also email us and request a copy at Diane@gaspumphheaven.com. Thanks again for watching.
Shake that thing, mess around. I declare she can mess around.